I absolutely believe church buildings should be beautiful. They should feel thoughtful and well-crafted. They shouldn't compete, though, with what's happening on the inside. People are coming here to worship, to learn, to reconnect, to find community. And that's really what's important about these spaces. A lot of churches that we talk with are wrestling with that balance. They want a space that reflects who they are. They want to honor their history, and they want to be wise with their budget. But they also want to make sure that whatever they build will serve the next generation as well. But there's always that quiet question underneath it all. How do we create something beautiful without feeling showy? How do we invest in excellence without losing humility? That's a real tension, and it's a healthy one. We've seen what happens when a space is too focused on making a statement. It can unintentionally distract. On the other hand, when a building is purely functional and stripped of all of its intention, it can feel cold and disconnected. So the sweet spot is somewhere in between. At Thrive, the role is pretty simple. We listen first. Before we start sketching anything, we want to understand who you are as a church and what your theology is, and what your culture is, and where do you feel called to grow. Those are key elements, because once we understand the mission, the design decisions get a lot clearer. We think carefully about your sightlines, so attention always is centered where it should be, and we think about acoustics because clarity matters, and we think about gathering spaces because so much ministry happens in the in-between moments, and we think about materials that feel timeless and not trendy. We're trying to design a space that helps people connect with God and each other. We also design with the long view in mind. Churches carry stories. They host weddings and funerals and baptisms and countless ordinary Sundays that shape people's lives and are super impactful. But the space also doesn't just serve the immediate time, it serves for the next few decades. And when it's done really well, it feels like an extension of the present day and the future. And it's not forced, but it's also not the focus. It just feels right. So if your church is starting to think about expanding or renovating, my encouragement would be start with clarity. What does your building need to support? What's getting in the way of your mission right now? When a design does its job well, people are free to focus on what matters most.